Symptoms of bad crankshaft position sensor. A crankshaft position sensor is an electronic device used in internal combustion engines to measure the rotational position and speed of the crankshaft. The crankshaft is a vital component of an engine that converts the reciprocating motion of the pistons into rotational motion, which drives the transmission and ultimately the wheels of a vehicle. The crankshaft position sensor typically consists of a Hall effect sensor or a magnetoresistive sensor, which generates a signal based on the magnetic field changes caused by the rotating teeth or notches on the crankshaft's reluctor wheel. The reluctor wheel is attached to the crankshaft and has a series of spaced teeth or slots. As the crankshaft rotates, the teeth or slots pass by the crankshaft position sensor, causing the sensor to detect the changes in the magnetic field. The sensor then sends a signal to the engine control unit, providing information about the crankshaft's position and speed. The ECU uses this information to determine the precise position of the crankshaft and the corresponding position of the engine's pistons. This data is crucial for various engine control functions, including fuel injection timing, ignition timing, and synchronization of the engine's various components. If the crankshaft position sensor fails or malfunctions, it can lead to engine performance problems or even engine stalling. The ECU may not receive accurate information about the crankshaft's position, resulting in improper fuel delivery or ignition timing. As a result, the engine may run poorly, have difficulty starting, or experience a loss of power. When troubleshooting issues related to the crankshaft position sensor, it's important to consider other factors as well, such as the sensor's wiring, connections, or the reluctor wheel's condition. Symptoms of bad crankshaft position sensor. A faulty or bad crankshaft position sensor can lead to various symptoms, which may vary depending on the specific engine and vehicle. Here are some common symptoms associated with a malfunctioning crankshaft position sensor. 1. Engine misfires. A failing crankshaft position sensor may cause intermittent or consistent misfiring of the engine. This can result in rough idling, hesitation, or a noticeable loss of power while accelerating. 2. Difficult or no engine starting. The crankshaft position sensor provides crucial information to the engine control unit, ECU, for proper fuel injection and ignition timing. If the sensor is faulty, it may prevent the engine from starting altogether or make it difficult to start. You may experience extended cranking before the engine eventually starts. 3. Stalling. A malfunctioning crankshaft position sensor can cause the engine to stall during operation. This can happen suddenly and without warning while driving, leading to a loss of power steering and braking assistance. 4. Erratic or inconsistent tachometer readings. The tachometer, which measures the engine's RPM, revolutions per minute, relies on the crankshaft position sensor to provide accurate readings. A faulty sensor can cause the tachometer to behave erratically or provide inconsistent RPM readings. 5. Engine hesitation or surging. A failing crankshaft position sensor can disrupt the engine's timing and fuel delivery, leading to hesitation or surging during acceleration. The engine may feel like it's momentarily losing power or experiencing irregular bursts of acceleration. 6. Check engine light, CL, or fault codes. In many cases, a faulty crankshaft position sensor will trigger the check engine light on the vehicle's dashboard. When scanned with a diagnostic tool, specific fault codes related to the sensor's performance or signal may be retrieved. 7. Intermittent issues. A faulty crankshaft position sensor may exhibit intermittent symptoms. The sensor's performance can be affected by temperature changes, engine vibrations, or electrical connections. Therefore, you may experience sporadic engine problems like stalling, misfires, or difficulty starting that seem to occur randomly. 8. Engine backfiring. A malfunctioning crankshaft position sensor can disrupt the engine's ignition timing, leading to improper combustion. This can result in engine backfiring, where you may hear loud popping noises from the exhaust or intake manifold. 9. Poor fuel efficiency. If the crankshaft position sensor is providing inaccurate information to the engine control unit, it can affect the fuel injection timing. This may lead to poor fuel efficiency, as the engine may not be receiving the optimal fuel-air mixture. 11. Difficulty shifting gears. In manual transmissions, a malfunctioning crankshaft position sensor can affect the engine's RPM readings, which are crucial for proper gear shifting in manual transmissions. You may experience difficulty shifting gears smoothly or notice a hesitation or jerkiness during gear changes. 12. Increased emissions. When the crankshaft position sensor is not functioning correctly, it can cause the engine to run rich or lean, resulting in increased emissions. This can lead to the vehicle failing emissions tests or triggering the OBD2 system's emission-related fault codes. It's important to note that these symptoms can also be caused by other engine or electrical issues. Therefore, proper diagnosis by a qualified mechanic or the use of diagnostic equipment is recommended to accurately identify a bad crankshaft position sensor. If you suspect a problem with the crankshaft position sensor, it's important to have it diagnosed and repaired by a qualified mechanic. They can perform tests using specialized equipment to determine if the sensor is indeed faulty or if there are other underlying issues causing the symptoms. What are the causes of crankshaft position sensor failure? There can be several causes for crankshaft position sensor failure. Here are some common factors that can contribute to a faulty crankshaft position sensor. 1. Electrical or wiring issues. The wiring harness connecting the crankshaft position sensor to the engine control unit (ECU) can experience damage, corrosion, or loose connections over time. These issues can disrupt the sensor's signal and lead to sensor failure. 2. Reluctor wheel damage or misalignment. The reluctor wheel, which is attached to the crankshaft, has teeth or slots that the crankshaft position sensor relies on to detect the crankshaft's position and speed. If the reluctor wheel becomes damaged, cracked, or misaligned, it can cause inaccurate readings or no readings at all, resulting in sensor failure. 3. Oil or debris contamination. The crankshaft position sensor is located in the engine block or near the crankshaft, where it can be exposed to oil leaks, debris, or contaminants. Over time, oil or debris buildup on the sensor can interfere with its operation and lead to sensor failure. 4. Sensor wear and tear. Like any electronic component, the crankshaft position sensor can experience wear and tear over an extended period. The sensor's internal components, such as the Hall effect sensor or magnetoresistive elements, can degrade or fail, resulting in sensor malfunction. 5. Overheating. Excessive heat can affect the performance and longevity of electronic components, including the crankshaft position sensor. If the engine consistently operates at high temperatures or experiences overheating due to cooling system problems, it can contribute to sensor failure. 6. Manufacturer defects or quality issues. In some cases, crankshaft position sensor failure can be attributed to manufacturing defects or quality issues. These can include issues with the sensor's design, materials, or assembly, leading to premature failure. 7. Vibrations and mechanical stress. The crankshaft position sensor is exposed to vibrations and mechanical stress due to the engine's operation. Over time, these vibrations can cause wear or damage to the sensor, leading to failure. 9. Poor quality or incompatible replacement parts. If a crankshaft position sensor is replaced with a low-quality or incompatible part, it may not function properly or may fail prematurely. It's important to use high-quality, OEM, original equipment manufacturer, or reputable aftermarket parts when replacing the sensor. 10. Improper installation or handling. Incorrect installation of the crankshaft position sensor can lead to damage or misalignment, causing it to fail. It's crucial to follow the manufacturer's instructions and ensure proper alignment and secure connections during installation. 11. Diagnostic tool or software issues. In rare cases, issues related to the diagnostic tool or software used for troubleshooting can lead to misdiagnosis or incorrect readings. It's important to use reliable and up-to-date diagnostic equipment to accurately assess the condition of the crankshaft position sensor. 12. Age and mileage. Over time, the components of the crankshaft position sensor can naturally degrade due to age and usage. High-mileage vehicles or those with older sensors may be more prone to sensor failure. It's important to address any symptoms of a faulty crankshaft position sensor promptly. If you suspect a problem with the sensor, it's recommended to consult with a qualified mechanic or technician who can perform a thorough diagnosis and provide the appropriate repairs or replacement. It's worth noting that while a faulty crankshaft position sensor is a common cause of engine problems, it's essential to diagnose the issue accurately to confirm if the sensor is indeed at fault. Other factors, such as the sensor's wiring, connections, or the reluctor wheel's condition, should be considered during the diagnostic process. A qualified mechanic or technician can perform the necessary tests and inspections to determine the exact cause of the sensor failure. How to care for crankshaft position sensor. Caring for the crankshaft position sensor can help maintain its optimal performance and prevent premature failure. Here are some tips to care for the sensor. 1. Keep the sensor area clean. Regularly inspect the area around the crankshaft position sensor for any signs of oil leaks, debris, or contamination. If you notice any buildup or deposits, clean the area carefully using a suitable cleaner and a soft cloth. Avoid using harsh chemicals that may damage the sensor or its surroundings. 2. Check the sensor's wiring and connections. Periodically inspect the wiring harness and connections of the crankshaft position sensor. Look for any signs of damage, fraying, or loose connections. Ensure that the connectors are securely fastened and free from corrosion. If you notice any issues, have them repaired or replaced promptly. 3. Avoid excessive heat exposure. Excessive heat can negatively impact the performance of the crankshaft position sensor. Be mindful of the engine's operating temperature and address any cooling system issues promptly to prevent overheating. Additionally, avoid placing aftermarket components or accessories near the sensor that may generate excessive heat. 4. Use quality replacement parts. If the crankshaft position sensor needs to be replaced, ensure that you use high-quality OEM, original equipment manufacturer, or reputable aftermarket parts. Using substandard or incompatible parts may lead to sensor malfunction or premature failure. 5. Follow proper installation procedures. When installing a new crankshaft position sensor, carefully follow the manufacturer's instructions. Ensure that the sensor is correctly aligned and properly secured. Avoid over-tightening the mounting bolts, as it can cause damage to the sensor or its housing. 6. Regular maintenance and inspections. Include the crankshaft position sensor in your regular vehicle maintenance routine. During routine inspections or servicing, have the sensor checked for proper operation and integrity. If any issues are detected, address them promptly to prevent further damage or failure. 7. Be cautious when working around the sensor. When performing any work around the crankshaft position sensor, exercise caution to avoid accidentally damaging or dislodging the sensor. Take care not to apply excessive force or impact that may cause harm to the sensor or its components. 8. Avoid harsh chemicals. When cleaning the crankshaft position sensor or its surrounding area, avoid using harsh chemicals or solvents. These can potentially damage the sensor or its components. Instead, use a mild automotive cleaner or electrical contact cleaner and a soft cloth or brush to gently clean the sensor and its connections. 9. Protect the sensor from physical damage. The crankshaft position sensor is located in the engine bay where it can be susceptible to physical damage from road debris, accidental impacts, or improper handling. Take care when working in the engine compartment to avoid any contact or damage to the sensor. If necessary, use protective covers or guards to shield the sensor from potential hazards. 10. Address engine performance issues promptly. If you notice any engine performance issues such as rough idling, stalling, or misfires, address them promptly. Ignoring these symptoms can place additional strain on the crankshaft position sensor and other engine components, potentially leading to sensor failure or further damage. 11. Keep up with regular engine maintenance. Following the manufacturer's recommended maintenance schedule for your vehicle is essential for overall engine health, including the crankshaft position sensor. Regularly change the engine oil and filter, replace worn-out spark plugs, and perform other maintenance tasks as specified in the owner's manual. Keeping the engine in good condition reduces the likelihood of issues that can affect the sensor's performance. 12. Monitor warning lights and diagnostic codes. Pay attention to any warning lights that appear on your vehicle's dashboard, such as the check engine light, CL. If the CL illuminates or you receive any related diagnostic trouble codes, DTCs, indicating a problem with the crankshaft position sensor, have the issue diagnosed and repaired by a qualified technician in a timely manner. 13. Consult a professional for repairs and diagnostics. If you suspect a problem with the crankshaft position sensor or any related issues, it's advisable to consult a professional mechanic or technician. They have the necessary expertise and diagnostic equipment to accurately diagnose the problem and provide appropriate repairs or sensor replacement if needed. By following these care tips, you can help prolong the lifespan and ensure the reliable performance of the crankshaft position sensor in your vehicle. Remember that the care and maintenance of the crankshaft position sensor should be part of the overall maintenance routine for your vehicle. By staying vigilant, addressing issues promptly, and seeking professional assistance when needed, you can help ensure the optimal performance and longevity of the crankshaft position sensor. That's all we have for you in today's video. It's very good to have you here on our channel. If you liked the video, please smash the like button and do consider subscribing if you haven't already. We hope to see you soon with another video. Until then, stay safe.